What's up?
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Then we got Tim, and then we got Facebook user. And we got Scott. And there's Gord. Gord is fourth. He's slacking. Okay, so before anybody asks, the Vanquish, the new Phoenix portal. Is it cool? Yes. Am I going to talk about it? Yes. Do I know when it's going to be out? Yes.
Ish.
Every single item that has been released in the past 2 years. Come on, you guys. Stop asking dumb questions. Every single item that has been released in the past 2 years has not hit the floors in Canada anywhere near the same timeline as they estimate it to be. So, yeah, it'll get here when it gets here. Yes, I'm ordering them, of course. That's a dumb question because it's the new Vanquish. I mean, everybody wanted the Ultra Pro, so I don't know why we wouldn't have a whole bunch of the new Phoenix go out the door. Right? Right. And then we'll talk about some other stuff, like Saturday, 3:41 a.m. Some dickhead decided to break into the store. So, your shit's coming to you. I'm going to find you. And then I'm going to have some fun. So that's about as far as we can go with that because I can't say anything else without getting myself in trouble. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I can't get... Let's see if I can get this to give me more information. Aha, there we go. Can I save these? Okay, I can show you guys something new from Arma that I just came across my desk. Like literally just came across my desk. I just received the email at 1 hour ago.
1 hour ago.
So 6 o'clock, they sent me this email. Now, I know Horizon has a big release that they're putting out tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Is it our time or like East Coast time?
I don't know, but I don't work on their timeline. I work on mine. So 11, 19, 21, early access, Korean launch, blah, blah, blah. So let's share this up to you guys so you guys can check it out and see what it is. This is the new Arma Vendetta.
Goes well.
So I make
yeah, it looks like it's got a big rear wing on it.
Yeah, it's they're calling a 1/8 scale on road, 3S capable. I believe it's about halfway between. It's got a lot of the parts it looks like that share with the Granites and the Sentins. It's not the same platform as the Infraction and the Limitless and all those other ones, right?
Huh.
Oh, yeah. I guess before I say this, before I forget, speaking of getting broken into, if you come across a black felony or a flat black felony or a Snap-on Edition Ford Bronco that are just magically up for sale, punch the guy in the head because he probably stole them from the store.
Well, I'm just saying. I wonder about all these people that are watching. Everybody out in the interwebs. So, you find a great deal on this RC. You got the sneaking suspicion that it could be hot. Great deal. Do you still buy it knowing that it is hot, or do you kind of stay away from that kind of stuff?
I can tell you, I can list the people. I'm not going to list them publicly, but I can list the people that I know would buy it anyways because they could give a shit. Or, but I also know the people that would probably meet the guy that's selling it and flatten them and then bring the car back for me. So,
That'd be great.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. I
still think that if you're in possession of that stolen vehicle, I think that you knowingly bought it. You're just as guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I know people that have bought and stolen stuff and bought hot stuff lots. The part that really got me about these exact same people is that they're super, super, super pissed off if somebody were to steal their stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But it's okay for them to go buy hot stuff.
Yeah, you go buy hot stuff that's different than someone stealing from you.
Yeah.
No different in my mind.
Yeah. So anyways,
back
we have our Vendetta. It's coming in green and gunmetal black-ish. Let's see here. Pinion included, so it can reach 70 mile an hour. Oil-filled shocks, front rear sway bars, tuned Vendetta speed racer body with high flow downforce wings. That body kind of looks like a Le Mans style setup to me.
Well, coming out, if you actually follow Le Mans racing, which I do, they're doing away with LMP1 and calling it like a supercar, hypercar class.
Okay.
So they're opening up the entries to be more for people to take a hypercar, do some modifications to it, and racing against the fastest cars in all the land.
Right. Okay.
Now I see on this one here, it has like a mohawk on it, shark fin. Now that's for stability. Yeah, down the back there, the little red patch there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
right
for
down the middle, right here.
Right there, yeah.
Right where it says Vendetta.
Vendetta. So I think it should be fairly stable, going straight.
It looks interesting. I think it's this is literally the first I've seen of it. Just like you guys, I just saw the email on it an hour ago. Actually, while I was sitting here waiting to go on live is when it popped up on my computer went ding, you have a new email. So anyways, we got our down tuned Vendetta speed racer body available in 2 stunning colors, matte and gloss effect body paint schemes with scale decals. Large front foam bumper, large rear double diffuser. It's got the D-Boots Hoons 11s vented all around. Gunmetal colored wheels. 3S capable Metal Gear diffs. Brushless ready transmission with 1.35 mod input and main diff gears. Now, I mean, it says brushless ready transmission. Well, yes, it is because it's a brushless car. So, composite chassis, front and rear double wishbone suspension, rubber shielded bearings throughout. Motor does come with a heat sink in it. 651 digital Metal Gear servo, 7.2 kg. Spectrum's kg ratings I've noticed have been a little low. Low, like
underrated?
What this? Well, no, overrated. I guess you could
overrated.
Say. Just a bit. It's a Firma 3660 3900 kV brushless motor. So the Firma 3660 is pretty much the same as the Hobby Wing 3660 was in the 36 or 3900 kV. So it is the Spectrum branded, manufactured more than likely manufactured by Hobby Wing ESC. 100 amp smart ESC with IC5 connectors, which, as we all know, work really well with EC5. So I can't really zoom in too good on some of these pictures. I can't go down to the next page because I don't want to show you guys pricing. Well, I'll tell you guys pricing in a second here. But as you can see, it's the modular style setup. It appears to be quite similar to the 3S line of stuff from the Granites. So it won't surprise me at all to find out that this transmission and everything on here probably shares parts with the Granite and the Senton and the 3S brushless line. But you never know. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'm just speculating right now. I'll tell
Definitely
you in a
looks like
second.
it.
It looks like the same transmission to me.
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's actually a cooling fan on the motor. I haven't seen that a lot. The shock towers, if you look here, look quite skookum. They're caged. They're not just a bolt, so there's no shear point. You're actually on the housing. The shock is going into an actual like a cupped kind of hold. Adjustable links, I can see. It's not the fixed plastic ones. I can see. I don't know if you guys can see it very well here or not.
A little bit.
It is adjustable turnbuckles and links.
That's right. Get some tuning in there.
Yeah.
Those tires look something different, eh?
Yeah, they got a little bit of a different gripping to them. Speed Rush, give us shared parts sales with other 4x4 3S vehicles is what it does say on here. Okay, now I can get past that guy.
So it's basically
okay, I'll show you the next
4x4 short course with on-road tires and body.
So the standard price on it is $450 US is what it's going to go for, which what is 450 times exchange is about 1.25 right now. I'm guessing. I'm roundabouting it. It's not exact. So it's going to be about the 560 to 570 mark is what it's going to come in at. I'll give you guys this picture here to look at now.
Yeah, that double
that
diffuser in the
picture
back.
there. That color scheme I like. I really like that.
Yeah.
Wheelbase. Wheelbase is basically 13.2 inches.
Same as short course.
Yeah, and if you take looking down on the chassis right there, you can see it is extremely similar to all of the Granites and Sentons and such.
So is this thing fully waterproof action too?
Should be. I mean, everything on the Sentons and the Granites are, and they're sharing pretty much the same brand of electronics. So I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
So I'm thinking we could almost run this as a wet car. Eh?
For
It's
the
raining
outdoors.
out. Going
For
around
outdoors. Yeah. Rain or shine.
Run the other cars. We can pull that one out and run it.
So that would give us. It would almost give us three choices for cars. The wheelbases and everything on this are quite similar to the Traxxas one. The Traxxas one is close to 1/8, really. I mean, the wheelbase is pretty much the same as this.
Yeah, it is.
On the new 3.0. And then, with Losi re-releasing the V100 chassis, those are going to be a smaller chassis. They're going to be closer to the on-road platforms we're running now. But those originally were released with waterproof electronics. So, so there's three different brands and different options that would be waterproof.
Yeah.
And they're tub chassis, so they do, they all handle the debris coming up and the gravel and a little bit of road spray and stuff like that coming up off of the ground better than your carbon fiber sexy on-road chassis that you normally get. So there's that one. Then I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to bring up the other email here.
Yeah, that price wouldn't be so bad either. It's $550-ish, probably $599. In reality, $600. Get yourself an 8-scale car.
Yep.
Run them on 3S, and that's that.
So here is the next thing. For all you guys that don't like the cars, well, wait, there's more. The new Infraction 4x4 Mega.
But could Ryan put a car body on it?
That's what the Vendetta is. So this appears to be the same platform from what my initial reading of this is. It is a 1/8 version. It is not the 1/7. So this is not the Infraction. This is the Infraction 4x4 Mega. Arma loves to pull this crap, which is really annoying. They did it with the Outcasts and all that. They come out with an Outcast 6S, which is a 1/8 scale platform, right?
Yeah.
Then they come out with a 4S version, which is in between that and 1/10. And then they come out with an 8S version, which is like X-Max big truck size. But they call them all the same thing. All they changed was the voltage rating or the 6S, your 3S, 6S, whatever, right? Very annoying. And they do it with a whole bunch of their line. So when you order parts for these things, make sure you're ordering the parts for the right car. Because, yeah. There's Jordan. Jordan says hi. I say hi. Hi, Jordan. Hi. Jordan's one of the people who wants to know when the new Phoenix is going to be here. But he just tuned in now, so he missed out the part where I said when it gets here. Because I don't know. So Infraction resto body protection, roof skids, roll bars, all road D boots, guitar, vented tires on Tuck gunmetal colored truck wheels. So those are actually a treaded tire.
Yeah, I like to have some off-road, on-road, maybe a little rallycross action.
Yeah, those are kind of cool looking rims, actually. I like those. Big rear diffuser. I wouldn't call that a big rear diffuser. It's just a plastic spoiler. But, okay.
Might be on the underside.
It might be. Brushless ready again. Spectrum, SLT3.
It has a brushed motor in it, though.
Mega brushed ESC with IC3 connectors. So this is coming in as the smaller. That's why it's called Mega. Anything that is in the Arma line that is called Mega is going to be brushed. It'll be BLX if it is brushless, or 3S BLX, whatever, blah blah blah. All that garbage. Once again, modular style transmission. There's your rear diffuser right there. There's your bumper. So, I mean, another good platform you could set up for doing some rally bashing. Be another fun one, right? You'd put that one with the Vendetta. Change this one up to a brushless motor instead of, or even, make a motor limit or whatever they want to be, right? And then just go from there. The brushless motor combo that is in the Vendetta is actually not that expensive, so it wouldn't be a bad one. And to find an equivalent one from Hobbywing would be easy. And okay, I gotta check to see if it's showing me a pricing here. Okay, so it's $320 US.
It's a little bit cheaper because of the brushed action in it.
Yeah, so it's going to come in around the $400 mark. See if I can get a couple of cool pictures here. So there's another color of it. So you got like it's a copper and green, almost teal green with black. Once again, wheelbase 13.11.
That teal green would look great at the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those tires do look pretty badass, actually. I think that'd be a really good parking lot basher setup style car. Or a skate park basher. That'd be pretty cool, too.
Well, I think those tires can handle a little bit of dirt, so it'd be kind of cool to, do a
Mm-hmm.
little dirt track racing on it.
Almost like a supermoto style. On and off from dirt to pavement and back and forth.
Yeah, that's like the rallycross. That's what they do.
Yeah,
they usually have the pavement section, go in a dirt section, hit a jump. Good times.
It's a 570 brushed motor. So that's pretty good size motor, actually, for a brushed. That's bigger than the 550s. So, okay, so That's that. That's that for those new things. And then we have, let's talk about the new Vanquish. Now, if you guys haven't watched the videos yet already, I mean, I kind of leaked it out this morning, but I knew everybody else was going to start leaking it. So, boom. Whoa. That changed. That changed fast.
What changed?
It is in stock online.
In stock?
That's what they're saying.
Order now?
Order now.
Oh, God.
That is what it is saying. It is saying in stock online. Now, I get a lot of my Vanquish products I get from A-Main. So A-Main's website is showing them in stock right now in the California warehouse. Now, it does not give me any idea how many there are. So, you know, that is what it is. But the I don't know if you guys have watched videos on it. I mean, it actually has it's plastic portals. Not that big of a deal. They're beefed up. They're stronger. They're supposed to be stronger than other brands of plastic portals, but they do come with brass inserts in them, brass tube inserts. So there are some weight, and they should slide. Because plastic slides way easier than aluminum. So
It does.
let me see if it gives me any more information here. Yeah, I might be able to make that order quick. We'll see. Ryan, how'd you do today? Did we get to make that order quick? Let's see. Ryan was all by himself in the store today. It's Timmy's day off. It was Timmy's day off. Waiting for my computer to wake up because it's running slow today. Good grief. Come on. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. We can cope. So what other new releases did they have? Well, they got a Hangar 9 plane. We don't really do a lot of talking about planes. So I'd be interested to see if at 5 or 6 in the morning on Horizon's website tomorrow, if they actually show off these two cars or if there's something else that's new. Because if there's something else that's new, that'll be cool.
You're probably right with those two cars there because I haven't seen those out anywhere yet.
No.
Yeah. The other new release. Fingers crossed, Friday. It's going to be the X-Ray X4.
Oh, you mean pictures?
Yeah, like real pictures.
Like I could actually look at it and go, oh.
Yeah, because, you know, playing the video and hitting pause and trying to get a screenshot, it's a lot of work. I've been trying to, sneak at it, see what it's all about. And yeah, I've been having nothing but failures doing it.
Yeah.
I show one clip of the car. It's like, okay, that looks.
By the time you hit pause, it's already gone.
Yeah. Then you go back and hit pause. Oh, Nikes. Yeah, but I did get one cool picture.
Let's see.
See? One cool picture.
You show your picture.
Let's see here. It's on my Telemic phone, so I can send it to you. Okay. There we go. There you go.
Dang.
Ding.
Oh, let's just go through this way.
It's got me, I don't know, kind of
Feeling all
wondering
warm
about
and
that
fuzzy?
piece there.
Warm and fuzzy inside?
I don't know. This is kind of different. It's like X-Ray trying to do something different, not copying. Because most of the car, in my opinion, is copied from bits from other cars. You know, Awesome Max was the first with those type of style arms, and then other companies copied them.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the motor mount and the motor pulley system, it's copying some other brands again. So it's not like the regular X-Ray style. So they got different diffs in there, and so it's gonna be interesting if they took the best of each other car out there and put it into it, or not.
Okay, let's make this picture bigger here if I can. Well,
Yeah.
share this to the screen here. How do I share this guy? Okay, I gotta remove this one.
Making it hard for you.
Share this one. Not that. That piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're looking at there is the rear shock tower mount. Traditionally, it's all one piece.
Right.
And now this is going to be separate, but doesn't look like there's anything in between the two of them. So it's going to flex the chassis more, I believe.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's got more flex this way. Most of the time it flexes lengthwise, right? Lengthwise the chassis and it flexes.
Yeah.
But not in the in between the two, like this.
Not from wheel to wheel flex.
Yeah. It's like a side to side, like twist. So it'll be interesting to see if it works well or if it's going to be a big flop. Like I haven't seen this on any other car. I've seen different types of shock towers, but nothing like this. So it's really got me scratching my head if it's going to be a yay or nay or what. Yeah, there's another picture there.
Make it bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
So it's definitely
I'm glad to see there's some aluminum on there. I don't like it when they come out with a new release and there's no aluminum.
Yeah, so I'm going to send this to you. And for comparison, that's a traditional shock tower mount.
Okay, well, let's put this over here. This one here.
Yeah.
So that's your standard one. And then you have your new one. It's kind of hard to tell which one is. Okay, so your adjustable screws on the top. So these screw mounts here, these are going to be where the shock mounts, and this part's going to attach to the chassis.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to have a big space in between. So that is going to put a fair amount of stress on the actual chassis plate itself, though.
That's what I was thinking. Because nothing side by side. Like this one here is all connected. Look through that valley there. That's all connected. You push on one side, it's staying stable, right? Just push on the other side.
And then the body mounts are out here on the very, very, very far outside edges is where the body mounts would be, right?
Yeah.
Generally. So if they do this with the new one, where the body mount's going to be, they're going to be completely separate towers now.
Well, they're doing what a lot of the fast guys were doing with their X-rays, is putting them out the back.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like how my drag car is.
Yep.
Exactly like that. The mounts go out the back, holds the body in the back, and then on the front it's through the hood. Yeah.
Well, that'll be nice. Then you're not putting, because it seems to be that every time you try to put a rear body mount in, it always wants to go right through the back window.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Stupid.
But if you don't want to do that, you can always put a longer screw in the back body mount and put a front post in the back.
Right.
That sticks your body mount out the back.
Yep. So you're giving me an idea.
Yeah, you haven't done your body yet, have you?
Well, I've done it. Like I've got the front bang on exactly where I want it. But I haven't really decided if I wanted what I wanted to do for the back because there's a lot of ridges in that bitty design body. So the post was gonna, if it didn't get put in the exact spot that it needs to be, then the body was gonna pop one way or the other, right?
Well, yours has got those extra inserts and it spaces it further back if you wanted to as well.
Yeah, I already pulled those ones out though, because it was spacing them so far back it was going into where the wing mount is. So, so okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about today. Everybody getting sucked into the fads. It's really starting to get annoying and kind of really starting to drive me nuts. And I'm seeing this stuff on, you watch enough YouTube and you watch enough other things going on. You get a guy on YouTube who has no freaking idea. They just get given something by a manufacturer and told, and yes, everybody knows that these people are getting paid to say good things, not say the truth. They tell everybody it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, for the next 2 months, that's all anybody wants. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. But then they buy it. They get pissed off because they bought this thing and it turns out that it's a piece of junk. You can't get parts. There's no aftermarket support for it whatsoever. They don't have any intention of actually making it last any amount of time. It's just one of those, it's constantly chasing a fad. I know that it is killing people in the hobby. Like it's taking people, it pisses them off to the point where like, well, I bought this thing. It was supposed to be so cool. And they only made it for 2 years. They only made it for a year. Now I can't even get parts for it. I'm pissed off. I'm done with this hobby. Manufacturers and companies that are doing that need to pull their heads out of their asses, because if you can't manufacture something that people are going to be able to keep using for years or improve on it later, it's a waste of time. It has, in my opinion, no place in this hobby. That's my opinion. You guys don't like it? Go ahead. Comment. Go ahead. Tell me. Capra. Yes, Eric, you're right. 100% Capra right there. Boom. What did they do? The only platform they had from the Capra, and this is a Horizon thing. They love doing this crap. The only platform that they had for the Capra was the builder's kit version, which would allow you to go and put in the electronics that are good, the shifting servos that would work better, customize it, make it yours, and make it work really well. And that's the platform that they discontinue. They haven't discontinued the RTRs, but they've discontinued the builder's kit. They're going the wrong direction, I think. In my opinion, I think that the one that they should have discontinued should have been the SCX 10.3 builder's kit, if they were going to discontinue one of those two. Because, who needs another Jeep? Oh, wait, no, we have the SCX 6. Let's do another Jeep.
Do another Jeep.
Wow.
Do you have some kind of like contract where they have to put so many new Jeeps out every year?
Mm-hmm. They have a
Jeep, you gotta put everything's gotta start with the Jeep first.
Yeah.
And then second body, different Jeep.
You can't lie. I mean, when you go 4x4 on anywhere, you go out 4x4 with a group of guys. If there's 5 guys there, one of them's probably going to be a Jeep.
Probably 4 of them would be Jeeps.
4 of them might be Jeeps. But there's usually a Jeep in that group of guys 4x4. It is a very common platform for off-road, so it's I can see the visual aspect of it. But really, I mean, come on. You guys they had the rights to the Ford F100 body. They did that on the SCX 10.2 platform briefly. There's still, let's see if it's even still available. I don't think it is. don't think it is available anymore.
I think they just do like their one run and done. It's axial. So it seems to be. It's like they do one run, then they're done.
Yeah.
Unless they bring something back with a different color.
Under a slightly different brand.
Color.
But I find that it's the same problem. Yeah, an 80s square body, exactly. I love the 80s square bodies, like the old school stuff that you actually see people beat on in the bush. That's the stuff I want to see.
I want to see a Ranchero.
Exactly. I mean, there's only a few companies out there that are actually coming out with this stuff. Okay, so Axial has the Ford Bronco now, but they no longer have the Ford body anymore. Oh yeah, okay. They still have the body panel set saying ETA of the 23rd of November. But you can't buy the truck itself anymore. That one kind of flopped. But they do have other brands. They have the rights to the Ford Bronco, the early edition Ford Bronco. Right? They just released that one in the 10.3. If you're going to come out with a new platform with this SCX6, why did it have to be a Jeep? Like, that platform should have been a pickup truck because you can sit in the damn thing. Right? Like, you could sit in the damn thing. The one guy that does, and this is what really got me with this. These guys have had a hell of a time coming out and getting product out the door finally, and then they released the SCX10 or the SCX6, and there are probably 24 YouTube channel guys that have already had it and beat the piss out of it already. And those videos all released in the past 2 days now. Right?
Yeah.
Well, they released since the last live stream. The past week, all these videos have been out. And some of these guys don't even do RC. They just happen to do RC. They did a couple of RC videos. And the one guy is a mountain biker. And I'm not saying his videos are bad. His video is really good because he beats the shit out of the thing and he pulls around his car and he pulls himself around and he sits on the thing and he does a whole bunch. He really beat the crap out of it. But how come they can manage to do that with some of these lines, but they can't get their heads out of their asses and get their stuff moving with other lines, with other products that they release? Get it out there. Especially right now, it's Christmas. We're going to have people coming out here in the next 2 months looking for everything and anything they can that's RC related because they're going to find out that a lot of places don't have stuff. Let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do little Tykes, little sit cars with the handlebars on it edition.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they created a size and a category that nothing fits. There are some tire choices for that truck.
That's
it. Yeah. So any of there were wheel combos that were sold for the Rockray, the Losi Rockray, the 17 mil hex and everything, the Super Rockray, I think it was. Those wheels are rumored to fit. Yeah, I'm not doing grind my gears today, Gord, because my whole episode today is pretty much grind my gears. So, they came out with, so there's a Hyrax tire, I believe. There's a couple other tires that you can get now. They were the ones that were made to fit the Rockray, Super Rockray, and they're supposed to fit. Rumor has it. I haven't seen a video or any proof or pictures or anything yet, but they're supposed to fit this new SCX6.
How
the
tall is
SCX6. What's that?
How tall is that Rockray tire?
About 7 inches.
About 7 inches?
Yeah, about the same.
Okay.
It's a 17 mil hex. So I'm sure that you'll be able to fit a lot of the 3/8 like a lot of the wheel combos that fit on a Max would probably bolt onto it. Would they
Bolt
look
on.
right? They
Would
might
look
not look
right.
right, but they're going to bolt onto it.
The width of the tires and be all weird.
Yep. But that is what it is, right? That's what happens when you come out. Well, when you come out with a platform that is it's so far out of whack from everybody else. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, no, Red Cat did that with the what the fuck was that thing called? The claw. Well, it's like a 1/5 scale crawler, claw something. I can't remember the name of it because I hated it. It was a junky, cheap plastic piece of junk, and it flopped because it didn't work good. It was too big. It was a pain in the ass. This is the other thing. Every single person who has done a review on this SCX6, every one of them has commented about how ungodly big it is and how they can't even put it on their workbench. What are you to do? Go work out in your garage? If I'm going to go work out in my garage, it's going to be on a bike, quad, something else. It ain't going to be on an RC car.
Well, you do have the wife's kitchen table.
Oh yeah, because your wife's going to love you for that.
Your wife's going to love you for that. Honey, you just gotta clean the mud off this thing.
Yeah. You mean you're going to have to wash it in the bathtub? Which is going to make your wife super happy
and jealous because why are you bathing with that and you're bathing with me?
Yeah, how come you're hitting that with a foam brush and not me? What's going on here? Yeah, rubber ducky. Hey, Bert. So I just is it a tough truck? But from the videos I've seen, yes. Does it look like it crawls well? Yes. Do I like it? No. I think it's a monstrosity that is not a necessary. But I'm not a person who likes the 1/5. I'm not a big fan of X Maxes. Can you beat the crap out of the things? And are they pretty spectacular? Yeah, they are when they crash and they run. And I mean, people look at it and go, holy crap, that thing's huge. Yeah, it is. Do I want to take it out all the time? No, because it takes up half the box of my truck. I don't have any room to put it anywhere. You need a fair amount of space to actually run it before you're going to, break somebody's legs. This SCX6 falls in the same category as me. I'm betting there's people out there with cars that can't fit it in the trunk. Right?
One thing I do like about it is that if you're going to take it out to crawl somewhere, because this is what happens sometimes when you have like a 10 scale and you want to go over something and it's like, well, in reality, that rock is like 10 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Am I just going to go drive up it and go over it? One boulder. So it kind of puts like the everyday into scale more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take down like those spots where you can't go with your 10 scale. You should go with your 6 scale.
True.
And less time prepping to do anything.
Yes, Scott, you're right. SCX6 is a tow rig. That is 100% why I would ever get one. And it didn't come with a hitch.
No hitch.
Of all of the platforms they came out with, it doesn't even have a spot on the back bumper. You have to make something, or you're going to have to buy an aftermarket bumper, or somebody's going to have to make one. But it doesn't come with a spot on the back that you could even put not even a flat spot in the bumper that you could drill a hole and make an actual hitch.
Like, I mean, get the kids in the wagon, give them a tow.
Yeah, you're right. Tim can fit a lot of cars into his car, but he can't fit anybody else into his car.
No.
So, it's a 25-pound crawler. Stock. Now, how much do you think these things are going to weigh when people actually start doing mods to them, if anything's out?
40.
But they start adding things like brass or heavier wheels or anything to it.
Hard
which
body.
Is hard. Well, I don't think they'll do a hard body on it. That size platform is so big. If you had a hard body on it, rolled over, done. But if that car dies when you're on the trail, or you're going on a
pack it out,
or you roll it down a hill and it breaks something, it's 25 pounds. You're not throwing that on your back and backpacking it out like super easy. It is going to be the backpack. It's going to look like you're getting raped by a truck while you're walking out of the bush if you put it on your back. It's going to look terrible. And it's going to be heavy. It's going to hurt your back.
Should there be like a special backpack for it? Like a
backpack. That could be a market. There could be a market there for that. A special custom backpack just for the SCX6.
Be awesome,
right?
Some hard stuff in there, keep it hard, and tires can mount onto it. Just have little quick straps. Pow, pow.
Yeah, and don't slip or fall while you're carrying it. Break yourself in half. Zerik's right. It is expensive.
But then again, like look at their 10 scale crawlers. They're sitting around 700.
Well, I guess. God, this tickle will not go away. I guess the biggest part that gets to me is all of these guys down south of the border who complain about it being, it's $1,100 US. Okay. $1,100 US works out to about $1,450-ish Canadian, give or take. Depends on what the exchange rate is at the time. So, okay, first of all, you guys go ahead and add 25% to your price that you're whining about, and then come talk to me. You're talking, it's got to come up cross border. We have to pay on the importing duty, blah, 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 blah. So your $1,450 mark is going to be probably where you're going to see them retail out around about that mark. You're getting a really big ESC motor. You're getting a somewhat high torque steering servo. You're not getting a battery, and you're not getting a charger with that truck for that price point. So is it really worth all that money? I don't think so. I don't think it's really worth that price point. But then again, people are paying $150-ish for a 124 scale crawler. But that big.
Yeah.
Right?
It goes nowhere.
And the SCX6 is definitely 10 times bigger than that.
And it goes everywhere.
And it chews up little SCX24s. So, yeah. It's a fad thing to me. It'll be cool. People will get them. You're going to hear lots about them for the next couple months, I'm sure. And it'll go away.
Like a fad?
And while in typical company fashions, 2 years, they'll stop making parts or they'll discontinue it. Axial never had any luck with their bigger scale Yeti. Their 1/8 scale Yeti. They never had any luck with any of their bigger stuff. They've had luck with their scale, 1/10 scale crawlers and smaller. Never have they had, even their 2.2 line is fading somewhat. Yeah. Really, the only platform they have now is the Bomber. Which, how much have you seen about Bombers lately? Not much. I mean, less and less. They came out with the Capra, more capable than the Bomber in some cases, and small. They came out with the Rift. How much are you hearing about the Rift now? The Rift was categorized as a 1/10, 1/8. It depended on what size tires you were putting on it and everything like that. I mean, those are 5.5-inch tall tires. That kind of flopped, mostly because things were breaking.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love my Rift. It's a freaking cool car. I love driving it. But it's very, very stuck in this category, and this is what it's for. And that's it.
That's it.
You're not taking it for a trail run. The Bomber, at least you could take it for a trail run usually. Gord, 3 battery trays. Yes. 3 battery trays. You want to know why there's 3 battery trays? Because if that sucker runs out of battery on you, do you want to carry it? I'll take 3 batteries with me. I don't care how heavy it is because it's already 25 pounds. So what's another 2-3 pounds worth of batteries? Who cares? If it keeps it going down the trail instead of me carrying it, hell yeah.
What's that thing run on? I missed that part, what it runs on for batteries. 2S, 3S, 20S.
3S is as much as they recommend.
On the big-ass truck?
On the big-ass truck, yeah.
Really? That's it?
I think I read something about it is part of the motor's 4S capable. It's either the motor or the ESC, but the other one is not. So, it's leaving you room to upgrade and make it bigger. But why? I mean, it's not a truck that you're going to go racing. You're not going to take this truck and go, you want to do that, go get an X-Max or a 1/8 scale basher. That if you want to be in that size range and beat the crap out of it, you're not going to do it with a crawler setup truck like an SCX 6. Okay, let me say that again. Let me correct that. There are people out there that will.
Oh yeah.
But, your average person is not going to do that. There are people that are going to do it because they can, but you can't talk sense into those people. So I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm going to see what else there was. There was something else I was going to show you guys too. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, I'm losing my voice again.
Still.
Okay. Where is it new? So yeah, for the guys who went out last week and did the night run at Ellison, I fully intended on coming. I was going to try and go. I have been sick as hell for like a week. It comes in waves. Every once in a while, I'm good. Other times, can barely get my ass off the couch. So I didn't want to go out there and get everybody sick, so I didn't. Okay, I'm trying to find this new stuff here. Gundam.
Yeah, I honestly won't make a note for that night crawl too, but it's bloody cold.
Yeah, the weather didn't really look up that good for me too, which is the other reason I didn't go, because I was already feeling like crap. I was pretty sure going out in the dark in the evening and getting an even worse cold wasn't going to help me. Or whatever it is. Kung Fu flu.
Yeah, I think I was sitting in my hot tub about that time of night. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a wuss. What can I say? It's time to go indoors, do indoor racing.
Absolutely.
That's more my pace. Nice and warm. Consistently. It's warm. It's nice.
Oh, where is it? So Biddy Designs has an airbrush line now. It's just an airbrush being manufactured with the Biddy Design label on it.
There's some bodies coming from Biddy?
No, nothing really new since that Datsun one I was showing you last week. Ryan, you're a big thumbs up guy for On Point Paint. I don't know if you guys have watched Scale Builders Guild, but he did a build on the new Vanquish Phoenix, and the paint that he used to paint that body was On Point Paint, because he's a Canadian guy, so he would, Might as well try the new brand, right? Okay, I'm not seeing it from these guys, so maybe it wasn't on this site. Nope, wasn't on this site. So yeah, that's my opinion. I don't like the big ones. Well, yeah, okay, Zarek, you're right. Put tire chains on it and send it. The other advantage is any of the ones or 17 mil hub paddle tires that you can buy for 1/8 scale bashers, they're going to work on this thing too. You know, you might have to space it out a bit or whatever, but with the new Pro Line adapters that are on those wheels, you're going to be able to get them spaced out far enough that you'll be able to clear the axles and, you know, throw a set of paddle tires on there and goof around. 5T body. There's another one that just faded.
Speaking of
tires on
Red Cats.
New tires.
Ooh. Nice.
Prettiness. Red Cat, yeah. Let's look at that.
Do you see that thing?
Let's look at that. Gord sent me some pictures of your guys' night crawl. I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. Oh, not that picture. Oh, yeah. Kaiju or whatever they call this thing.
Where do they come up with these names?
From China.
Must not have translated well.
No, it seemed not to have, eh? Let's see if I just make it weird. Oh, wait, no. Let's change that.
Oh, I clicked the link action.
Let's change this to the other one.
Yeah.
Let's share that one. There we go. The thing is none of the bodies look very realistic, or they just
no
look
licensing, right?
No licensing, so they just build these things that are beat the hell out of it kind of bodies, and
so that's in all its glory right there.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh God.
8. I've got 8 bashers here. 8 basher chassis, and I honestly, and then got to remember the X-Max. 9. I've got 9 basher chassis because the X-Max is out in the garage. They're not my go-to trucks. I don't like going out all the time and always having to wrench on it after you've played with it or run it. You know what I mean?
So this guy here, Red Cat, not very known for strong plastics, are they?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Not known for strong plastics at all.
Yeah.
They
so for
fluked
the
out.
6S Basher, might want to err on the side of caution on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, when you got so many better things, even like the, you know, the Max, you can actually go run it, bash it. Plastics are there. You can upgrade the plastics where you can't with Red Cat.
Right. Okay.
And that's the problem with all those companies is that they just don't have the good plastics.
And some of them, they don't even care about having good plastics. All they care about is selling you the product.
Yeah.
Which is kind of frustrating. Let's see here.
They want to sell you the kit until you break it, and then might sell you parts maybe.
Make this bigger.
But they'll call it hobby grade, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's hobby grade, but we don't really make parts for it, though.
Right? Let's go that one. All right, here's some pictures of the night crawl. Let's make this a little bigger.
All right, the Gears of War truck.
Gears of War. Gord, I'm going to say, and pat you on the back.
Yeah.
You did a hell of a job with that body. I like the way you cut those body panels out, and I like where you got the idea from. I mean,
I do
some
like the
people
Gears of
can't
War.
paint, but the detail that came out of that body from that is cool. Very cool looking. I mean, it looks like something that you would see on a NASCAR track where there's like a very detailed livery on the side of it, and that's it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
I
it.
think you'd see that in the 1-to-1 of that truck. You see the ones that show up and they got, themed out ones like Walking Dead or something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There you go. Like you'd see that down in States for sure.
So there are the blinding lights. I'm going to guess that is either Zarek or Paris. It's hard to tell. Can't tell what color it is, but I think that's Zarek's. And this would have been Becker yesterday, I think you said, Gord.
The leaves are coming down.
The leaves are most certainly coming down. There's some gates. There's Becker again. And there is. That's the pictures he sent me last week. Light sand is you. Okay. I'll store the X-Max for you. Yeah. Everybody always offers to store the X-Max for me. I got lots of trucks that everybody offers to store. Gert says he's got videos of Becker. Did you put them on your YouTube or not? If you did, then we'll send guys over there and they can check it out because it'll show up better than me restreaming a stream. So, also, I guess the other question I had, the question for today, and I'm gonna put this out here now so you guys can actually talk about it now before the end of the stream. What do you guys think was the biggest influence on the RC hobby in the past 3 to 5 years? Like, what innovation do you think was the biggest? Everybody comes out with a new release, right? What do you think was the biggest innovation in the past 5 years? Batteries, motors, electronics, a certain platform that changed everything. What do you think?
What do I think? Well,
what do you think?
From the racing world, I started racing, I think my memory said 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
8 years ago. Started racing indoor action. And that was when, the brushless motors were just starting to get going, right? So I've seen them change from, like the lock timing. That was kind of like what the standard first editions were.
Right.
Into these crazy powered monsters they are now. So when I started, I got, one of the fast ones, the, what are they called? The Trinity motors. Got the kill shot.
Oh, you were a fad chaser. Oh, yeah.
Well, it was like, okay, I need to get a new motor. I'm going to get one. So I got one. And it had some power. But now, with the motors now, like the 21.5s, now are going faster than the 17.5s did back then.
Yeah.
So same turn motor, same stuff. They figured it all out a little more and made it go way better, way faster.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right.
On the race world.
Not even just in the race world. I think you're right. I think the biggest innovation, the biggest place where we've seen major improvements in innovation in the RC industry is definitely in the electronics side of it. And it is more the speed controllers and the motor combinations. Like, what is it, 2-3 years ago they came out with a revolver, so they started running outrunner motors. Noisy as all hell, and I can't stand them. Like, I definitely don't want to run them indoors. I can't imagine wanting to run them inside because it's just annoying. But you can't deny the performance of the motor. The motor performs. It's got piles of torque for days. And then you got companies that came out with the skewed armatures, Hobby Wing with the axe combos, super quiet, super smooth. The developments on that side, like even racing, same thing, like you're already saying. The ESC, the programmability with the timing and being able to change in the classes where you're allowed to program these things, but you've got your ESC that you can actually tune your timing, you can tune your throttle punch, you can almost have a damn near a traction control on them, depending on how you want them to ramp up their throttle. All of this stuff did not exist, or it was very, very, very rare 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and people don't really grasp. I mean, being able to program your ESC off your phone, that's huge. Because, before, anybody who had the older generation Castle combos and stuff like that, before they had the Castle links and stuff like that, you remember programming them by counting the blinks and counting, and then push set, and then pull the trigger, and then blink, 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 blink. Oh shit, how many blinks was that? Blink, 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 blink. Ah! Was that 6 yellows or was that 1 red? Shit, was that a green? I don't know what that was. I hated that.
Oh, man.
Now you don't have to do that. You can put it in, plug it into a computer, program it all up, tune it. It's all pretty.
Sounds real out there.
Yeah. I'd say brushless motor innovation, electronics innovation on that side. I think in the next 2 years, the innovations you're going to see,
batteries.
Battery life is a big thing.
I think we're going to see different makeups too, because they've been playing around with a couple different different types of stuff.
Like, lipo batteries are awesome. They put out tons of power and they're crazy fast and they're great. Way better than nickel metal hydrides were. But they're volatile. They're dangerous. They can be dangerous if you don't take care of them properly. I think you're going to end up seeing batteries of a different chemistry coming out that are going to put out the same kind of voltage, same kind of ampeраges, but they're going to be more reliable and less high risk to, you're not going to have to worry about charging them. Even that in the past year, 2 years. In the past 2 years, the technology for charging batteries has just gone through the roof. You can plug in a battery now, a LiPo battery. Smart technology is a prime example. It's got a computer chip in the battery that tells the charger what's going on with the battery, and they talk to each other while it's charging. You never saw that before.
No.
And you can't get much more idiot proof than that. So I think that's going to be your next thing you're going to see is battery. You're right, probably batteries. But the other thing you're going to see a lot of changes in is going to be your radios and transmitters, your control. You're being able to actually change your steering curve and all the stuff that you could adjust now on a radio that were not that easy to adjust years ago. You had to buy a very, very high-end radio to make those adjustments.
Well, even just doing the endpoints, right?
Yeah, there were radios.
Remote.
Yep.
You didn't, or that one generation came up. We did the blinking light thing.
Mm-hmm.
You could program with that.
Yep. Absolutely.
But I think you're going to see that more with the cheaper stuff as well. It's going to come down from the top and start filtering down.
Okay, so a couple things about the Vanquish 410 Phoenix portal that you guys probably got questions about, so I can bring up their specs here on it so you guys can look at them a bit.
My first question is that going to be similar to the SCX 10.3 portal axle?
No.
Like width-wise?
No, it is the same. It is very similar and close to the same as the Ultras, the Vanquish 410 Ultras. But this is a plastic. The point of this platform was to innovate some new stuff and come out with some new things. So a transmission that has actually got an adjustable dig, or not dig, but overdrive, that's huge. Nobody's ever thought of doing that, and this would be the first company really that's done it.
Adjustable overdrive.
Adjustable overdrive. So you can go from 6% to 33% by shifting. So you don't change you're shifting the overdrive on your front axle.
Okay. So you want to go 1-1, you're good. You want to go 6% over, pow.
Yep. Yeah. So you get it comes out of the box with the gearing they come with is 6%, 6.6%, I think it is. I think it even says right here. That's what the VFD twin stands for. The twin stands for two different overdrives options. So like you take a look at an Element Enduro or the Gatekeepers or any of the Enduro line, they have adjustable overdrive built into the transmission. So you don't need to overdrive your front diff or underdrive your rear diff or any of that. You're overdriving in the transmission. So your drive shafts are spinning at different speeds. Okay. That is permanently adjusted though. You can't change that gear ratio. You have to take that transmission apart and physically change the gears. With this one, instead of there being a shifter changing a 2-speed transmission, this shifter is now changing a 2-speed transmission for your front axle, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And then they coupled that with a dig.
On the backside.
On the backside.
So you got the front side shifting, the backside shifting, locking.
Exactly. In the VFD format, which I don't know if you've seen the VFD, but the VFD format puts your motor down almost along the same plane as your front axle. It gets all that weight right down low. The gears and the trans. So with the 410 Ultra Pro that came out, one of the things about that is some of the gears in the transmission were plastic. On this one, all the gears are metal. The axles are plastic, but they have a brass insert. So is that worse? I don't think so. I think that's better. A lot of people change out their metal axles after a while, discovering that it hangs up, and aluminum snags on rocks. Metal snags on rocks. The plastic that they make nowadays slides over the rocks. So if you have a brass sleeved plastic axle, that's going to be stronger or as strong, and it's going to be heavy. It's going to have the weight for you, and it's going to slide nice.
Yeah, sliding's key. I found that was a big thing with my SCX 10 1.0 or 0.0, whatever you want to call it, original, is I put aluminum diffs in there, and the diffs are huge. The pumpkins in those things are huge, and they hung up on everything.
Everything, which is the reason why so many people have gone towards portals, which, you know, the hardcore guys call those cheater axles. And then the other hardcore guys go, yeah, well, if I'm building a custom rig and I'm building it for crawling, I'm going to take the best options I can and put them on my truck.
Oh, yeah. Get all that clearance.
Okay, Gord, shoot me the link.
Oh, God.
Text me the link for your video. So Gord's put it up on, it's Vernon RC, right?
That's what we got. We got dig with 3 positions.
Yeah, let's see if I make this bigger so you guys can read it easier.
Yeah, I can't quite see there.
Oh, my spectacles, my eyes, my wheelie
there I
lies.
go.
Can't read it. So selectable high overdrive, 33%. Use overdrive neutral position or two-wheel drive disengage front output.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool because there are times like when you're just running down a trail and you don't want overdrive at all.
Well, you just want to, get the front from catching going down the hill.
Yep.
You just need the back to catch going down the rocks and stuff.
So one of the things, like the anchor points and the axle points on this platform, where all the links and everything mount up, are the same as they are on the VS410s and the Ultras and all that. So you can take a set of straight axles out of the Origin, the original, which they're not portals, and you could put them in this chassis, and now you have a real scale with straight axles. Now you have selectable four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. You could overdrive the front end, which you wouldn't normally see in a real car. In competition rock crawlers, you would. Digs, though, you do see digs in real vehicles. So you could do whatever you wanted to, right?
So potentially, you could switch into neutral and just tow this thing if you had to. If you got broke down, shift to neutral.
Yeah. If the overdrive neutral position gives you neutral, disengages your front output, and your dig is set up in 3 positions so you can set that into neutral, yeah, you'd just be like unlocking putting your transfer case in neutral.
Yeah, so you could set yourself up with a tow truck, tow your rig up to wherever you're going, and then go crawling.
Yep, absolutely. Another thing that I like about it that's a big improvement in my eyes, I have the 410. I have Jordan's old SCX10 conversion chassis. The Ultras, and they all had a flat plate for mounting your battery to. These do not have a flat plate. These now have a molded battery plate. Let's see if the pictures get any bigger. That one? There. So on this one, let me make it bigger. Try and make it bigger, see if it does anything. A little bit, not much. But in the middle right here, this battery tray is actually molded with edges. It's not a flat plate. So if, you really had to get your battery in there hard, my batteries would slide out on mine all the time. Slide sideways and hit the body, or shift while you're pulling a hill or side hilling or something. And it was a pain in the butt because it would change the entire way the truck rode. So this is going to hold your battery securish because it's got some lips all the way around. It does have the filled in middle pieces, the axle of the transmission, between the frame rails and stuff. I love how they always show everything with tech and electronics in it. Like, I don't know why.
I know why.
Those are extremely expensive servos to be putting in there for shift servos. Like, that one servo right there is probably costs enough money that you could outfit this entire truck with servos. They're all rated for the same ratings as these, but just don't carry the Tekken brand name and the prestige, right? It's a hinged body, so there's no body post mounts on the front. Everything is accessed from underneath, so you don't see any body posts on it anymore. That's another really cool bonus. I'm going to make this smaller again so I can move the image. Let's see if it shows a picture. It doesn't really show you. The back panels on it.
I like that.
Yeah, so the back panels on it are removable. So if you don't want to do you don't want to have box sides on your truck, take them off. And it just leaves an exposed cage on the back.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Right. It does come with the same crappy damn tires that Vanquish puts out on everything, which is quite funny because that's like almost always the first thing people take off is those tires. For a company that makes pretty decent wheels, some people think the best wheels, and really, really high-end chassis components and everything else is really good. Why do you keep sticking with this junky damn tire? I think I got 4 of them hanging on the wall here that I think they would never see a truck again unless I was going to put them on a trailer or something.
Yeah, well, maybe they need to team up with a tire brand. Like, the company actually makes tires.
Yeah.
I think that'd help them. Like Horizon, they own everything. So you kind of got to look for who's left over, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could easily link up with a company like Pitbull.
Yeah.
Or a company that's not owned by a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, like, Horizon owns everything, and it's great and all, but it's also not so great at the same time.
Okay, so Gord sent me a link, but I'm not going to bother trying to show it because, like I said, it just doesn't come through as good. You guys need to go to Vernon BCRC on YouTube when we're done this and click on the new one, and you guys will see some video from the latest crawl at Becker and some of the night crawl stuff. Boom, boom, boom. No, they didn't steal the clip-on body. They're running the same body mount style as Horizon's been running. Axial's been running with the STX 10.3s. And actually, a little bit before that, they're running the same body style as the STX 10.2, like the Unimog, when they first came out, where you had 2 clips on the front that clipped it down and then it hinged off the back. Now, the difference with this chassis is it hinges off the front. So your 2 body clips are at the back and it hinges to the front. So, whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm far more excited about this than I am about an SCX6. The only thing that impressed me about the SCX6, like I was saying, is the fact that it seems to have some pulling power. So it'll make a great tow rig if you're going to the beach and you don't really feel like carrying all your stuff. And you can tow all of that stuff with an X-Max, but they're not geared low. So they're not really good to do that towing with. Whereas this is geared for crawling. Anything that's geared for crawling is going to be geared low enough to actually drag you along, right?
Yeah, well, there is that cooler that's, remote cooler. I've seen those.
Yep.
I think that's a little bit cheaper than buying that $1,400 rig. Just saying.
So yeah, there's that. I don't really know much else you guys want to talk about with Vanquish's new release, because that's kind of the cat out of the bag on that one. Let's see here. I know last week they released some new items as well. Like new wheel accessories and hubs and some light kits and stuff like that. Like they do have, Vanquish now has a spool locker for the Rift axles. They also have some different gear sets for inside the diffs on the Rift axles. They do have some new Incision wheels that they've released that are KMC Roswells, they call them. They're kind of like a slotted looking wheel. They're kind of a slotted looking wheel. So they're making that in a silver and a black. That's new release.
Square body.
Yeah, that would look really good on like an old Blazer style or something.
Yeah.
Where it's almost got that rally look, but you don't want that chrome rim rally look on the wheel. You want something that actually can take a hit on an off-road trail. They got some. Oh yeah, they got some new colored hardware that they came out with.
The titanium coated.
Yeah. And then their axles and all their stuff they've come out with before. Chrome Origin body detail set. All their Origin sets used to be black, so that's new. It's just chrome plated. Ooh, shiny and chromy. Then they still have the good old three-gear transmission.
Yeah. 3-gear transmission. The old faithful.
Old faithful that just doesn't go away. Right?
You can't beat the simplicity of it. It's so simple, right? Simple design.
Yep, which is what makes it so popular for building things like a belly dragger or whatever, right?
Yeah. Like, motors down low.
You don't want all that extra weight sometimes. So yeah, there's pretty much all that stuff. Yeah, the driver has a cowboy hat.
So what's going to be retail on that kit, the Vanquish kit?
Retail, I can tell you what it is going to be Canadian.
Yeah.
It's already on our site. Down to the bottom of the screen here and it'll show me what was the new one. $616.
Not too bad. There it is.
Yeah.
So
it's, I mean, like when I posted this stuff up earlier today, it was showing pre-order status only. And now it's showing availability. So I don't know if I can scrape together the bank to order these in quick enough or not. We'll see what happens here. I might get away with it, but it'll be a stretch. So
if people show up with some money, give you money now.
Yeah, I could probably squeeze some stuff together and get it out there.
Pay now.
I'm curious to see. I mean, there's some other brands out there that need. There's some other brands out there that are going to be doing some more releases. See, after they do their hobby expo thing, there are some toy shows and stuff that they do in Germany, I think it is. And in those toy shows, they do a whole bunch more releases. And that's usually early November, end of October, early November. Can't remember what date it is this year. But just after that is usually when a lot of the companies will do their pre-Christmas release. And they'll release a whole bunch of shiny new crap, so that you guys can all jump on the fad wagon. and I gotta have it. So it's hard to really decide which ones you want to order first and which ones you don't. Let's see, because with these guys, their latest stuff is mostly from Vanquish. 18 channel radio. Well, MST has a new monster truck they came out with a pre-painted C10 body.
Monster truck?
What? Yeah, their monster trucks have never really taken off that well. Here, I'll show you. It's a square body. It's the same. I think it's pretty much the same body that CFXW came with. It's kind of like an old school. It almost looks like a clodbuster. They're not a big truck. They're 1/10 scale. So
Yeah.
probably a fun truck to drive. MST would make it more than likely it's going to be a build kit. I'll have to double check here. They are putting out some RTRs.
Even has wheelie bar on there. See that?
Yeah, it's a build kit.
Wheelie bars. Look at those wheelie bars on there.
Wheelie.
What if it goes really fast?
It goes really fast. So, I'd like to see some of that stuff too. Another thing that we just don't see enough of. Those trucks, that kit's coming in at 200 or 190 US. So that's $237, $240-ish Canadian. That's pretty reasonable for a kit to build. It is. I would probably jump on that and build it just so I had something to go play monster truck with.
Yeah, except monster truck course. Use a Traxxas drag tree to set it up.
Yeah. Well, we could do that with the LMTs as well, right?
Yeah, but not for $250.
Not for that price, no.
$250. You throw some motors that you got hanging around in there, and we have monster truck madness. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I'm just trying to see here. Top selling just arrived. Yeah, that's pretty much it from them. Horizon's being very secretive about their new stuff because they're obviously. Oh, they did release a new charger. That's the other thing they got out. They got a new smart charger power stage bundle. And they've got some more airplane motors they've come up with. So that's why I'm anticipating some new releases, not only just from Arma, but I'm anticipating some new stuff from Losi. I think there's going to be a few more new things released in the next couple of weeks because this is that time, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be wrong. Maybe because of COVID and the way everything's been going and shipping shortages and supply chain screw ups, they're not able to keep up.
Well, my question for you, Travis, is what's a fad you think is going to happen next?
The next fad?
The next fad.
I can tell you what I don't think it will be. Is going to be the 6 scale crawlers. Don't think that's going to be a fad that's going to how would I phrase this? What do I think the next stockable fad would be? Where it's worthwhile to actually bring in the parts and keep them in the store.
I'm talking like Tickle Me Elmo fad. Like what's going to be the next Furby?
In the RC realm or just in the toy realm, period?
Oh, I'm talking about RC realm here. Better not be those damn poppets.
No. But I just have this funny feeling that they're going to start coming out with programmable cars, like self-driving, a little bit more automated, where the realism is more. It's like sound kits and light kits, all combined into one, not separate light kits from separate sound kits. You know what I mean? Like almost like the Tamiya MFC01, the sound kit that they came out with for their big rigs. But I think that there's going to be a smaller, more digital version, more compact, with more features to it, where you'll actually have high and low beams. And, like Traxxas has already come out with it with their Pro Scale light kit, where you can turn off the signal light feature. But I think there's going to be channels. I think there's going to be scale cars out there now that actually have proper working lights with a properly tuned and calibrated sound kit. Right? That's what I think. moving parts in the engine bay. I think that's going to be the next fad. I think there's going to be more scale realism.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Non-functional function.
Yeah, non-functional function. Pretty
Nice.
trucks. Going to go way more to the pretty end of things.
The pretty end. So we're talking like scale accessory might be a jerry can that's actually a little lithium battery.
Yeah. Absolutely, right? Like a tiny little. Actually, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, like a little jerry can that was the size of a little 2S lipo that just gave you that little jerry can extra fuel so that you could get that extra 1,000 milliamps to get you from the trail to the parking lot, right? Your reserve tank, boop, there you go. You plug it in so when it sits in there, it actually connects in like a battery did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that kind of stuff. On the racing side of things, the next fad, I think, is going to be top fuel style dragsters. I think that's going to be the next, because we've gotten street eliminator style, and then we've had our they've gone up into the pro mod kind of style. They already had the funny car style, and I think before they bring the funny car style back, I think they're going to bring a top fuel open wheel style in for drag racing, and then eventually you're going to see the top fuel cars back, or the funny cars back again.
Interesting.
Are you supposed to be in bed?
No.
Oh no, not yet. Somebody watched Rick and Morty today. Not sure if that was a good idea. New 3D printed foams for crawling. Maybe. I think you're more likely going to see silicone-based wheel inserts before you'll see 3D printed stuff. I know a lot of companies are doing like these silicone gel type honeycomb-looking things.
Okay, you have to, man.
That was an idle threat. Didn't even affect me. Just went, yep, whatever. Okay, good night. Say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Your gray dog's waiting for you. Look at that. Look at the puppy. Hey, look at Chizzy.
I'm also really surprised that we don't see more VR Pro style simulators, like VRC Pro, where you could plug it in, that dongle you plug into your computer, you get download the game, then you plug in your receiver to that, it powers the receiver, and you actually use your transmitter to play the video game. I'm quite surprised we don't see more of that. Like, especially with games like, what the hell's that one called?
Gran Turismo?
No, not racing games. What is that? Spin Drift or whatever it is. It's like a crawling mud runner. I think it might be. Maybe that's what it is. It's like an off-roading style for crawling. So when it's minus 30 outside and you don't want to go outside because you're a wimp like me, and you just don't want to go outside, and playing around in 2 feet of snow is not really your thing. I'm surprised that there's nobody making a game that utilizes that same technology so you can just drive your RC car instead of playing it with an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller or whatever brand, right?
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool having like a off-road adventure game.
Yeah, right. I mean, you want to go do the Rubicon Trail.
Yeah.
There you go. You're RCing the Rubicon Trail, but you're not RCing the Rubicon Trail. But you're driving your
RC on the Rubicon Trail. Yeah.
That would be a cool thing.
That would be cool.
it takes away from the whole point of RC to me. But on a gaming aspect for people to get into it in games, and just kind of getting the younger generation who are fixated with video games right now, if you came out with that,
Nice, Daddy.
night. Kay's video is going to come out again here soon too. Well, not again. Your build video. I started editing it more because it got screwed up the first time, so I started editing it again. But I could see that being a good way to get younger generation that are obsessed with video games into actually transitioning from staring at a TV and playing video games to, instead of it being like, this video game is like my car and I want to play it on a video game, it would go the other way. This car is like the thing I play on my video game, so now let's go outside and play with this. Right? Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
A
lot of wishful thinking, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that's killing a lot of the hobbies out there, or anything that's, you actually have to go do is those damn video games.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many people that would rather just close the door, turn off the phone, close the blinds, and just stare at a computer screen or a TV screen and play video games for hours and hours and hours on end, rather than pack up their stuff, go to wherever they're going to run their RC, be it a racetrack or a crawler point or whatever, and run. Because, they can literally walk downstairs or into their living room, push a button on a controller, and be doing it right now.
Yeah.
And that's a problem with our I want it now generation. They don't have patience. Younger generation does not have patience. I don't have patience.
You don't have
But
patience.
my kids are way worse than me. Like I am not a patient person, but they lose interest like that. Gone. You could talk about going to do something, and it comes to the point of getting things loaded up and going, and we're 2 minutes down the road, and they're bored, and they've lost interest. Right? I don't want a video game controller for my RC. I hate video game controllers. I absolutely hate video game controllers. My hands are not made for video game controllers.
However,
every controller I've ever owned has been too damn small. I hate them.
However, I did show you way back when that KO Pro controller. That's like a video game controller for RC.
Right.
You remember that thing?
Yeah.
I think it had like lots of channels on it.
Hand fists. And I'm not that, like, I know people with way bigger hands than me. Can you, like, they look like this guy, their thumb, I don't even know how they hit different buttons on the controller because their thumb covers all the buttons at the same time. Right? Like, let's see, check one other thing here.
So while you're checking that out, just want to remind everybody, racing this weekend. We have practice starting at 8, a little bit later.
Setup?
For setup and practice.
Setup is starting at 8?
Yeah. Apparently another group rented out the gym and a bunch of rooms and all that kind of stuff there. So they're using the gym Friday, Saturday. And then we get the gym on Sunday. Yeah, because Sunday is when everybody goes to church there. So, that's when we get it.
Is that just this weekend if that's the case, or is that going to happen
That's just this week coming up. Yeah, they kind of took precedence because they rented a bunch of rooms out there too, and the food kitchen. They have a lot of stuff on the site there at Green Bay, so they kind of spent a lot more money than we do, or we did for the weekend. So, yeah.
So they're definitely going to be done by 8?
They have to be. They have to be done by. They have to be done by 7. Then they have to go and clean, and then we get in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just looking to see if there's anything new from Traxxas.
So come on out racing. Check it out. If you haven't been out to the actual real racing, it's a lot of fun. You get to see your time sheet and your lap times and get racing with other people. It's good times.
We got any potential people coming up from the coast for this one?
I'm not sure if they're coming from the coast because I think that I'm not too sure what's going on down there. I think there's Vancouver Islands racing. But we do have a couple guys coming up from the Kootenays. We've got one guy confirmed from Kamloops coming out. And hopefully he'll drag out some more people from Kamloops because they're not racing at all indoor this season.
There's one more thing I just remembered.
Oh, yeah, come out, check it out, come race, have some fun.
One more new thing that they just released here. I just gotta get the pictures here so you guys can see them.
Who released it and how much?
Well, it's actually a re-release. It's just a different size now.
My favorite re-release.
Well, okay, not really a re-release, I suppose. I guess it's so last week or the week before, maybe 2 weeks ago now, I told everybody about the new J Concept Tusk Tires.
Oh yeah,
But they were only available in a sub 4.2 scale. They have now released them in a 4.75.
big tire.
Big tire. So these ones here, same tread pattern as the other one that they just released. The Tusk and the, oh God, what the hell is it called now? The Tusk and the Hunk. That was the other one. And they've released them now in a 1.9 rim with a 4.75 tire. So
That's beefy.
Yeah. Do I think Axial would be able to make a belly dragger build kit and an RTR? And do you think it would be worth a buy? I don't think you're ever going to see Axial make a belly dragger. I don't think they're going to try and play that market because it's really not that big of a market. Most people who want a belly dragger setup are going to do something with flat plate chassis, and they're going to do it custom build stuff. And very little of the stuff that they run is actually going to be from Axial. So I don't see it happening. I think somebody's probably going to end up coming out with another MOA at some point here. Seeing as the only one that you really know of right now is the RC 4-wheel drive Bully 2 is the only one that seems to be in production anymore. Deluxe Fab makes some, but you're buying parts from obsolete lines, right? Like nobody's really making an MOA axle. So I think somebody might release an MOA crawler again. I think. And maybe not this year, but in the next year or so. Everything kind of goes in cycles, right? So we're getting into the competitive crawling, and so everybody's gone hardcore scale. And now you're starting to see them come out with more capable crawling rigs with their the trail rigs are getting more capable. They're not just, a 2x10 driving down the road like a brick that bounces all over the place. The hardcore scale people are building TF2s with leaf spring suspension and all that stuff because they're trying to replicate a 1-to-1. But that fad, it depends on what aspect you are. If you're a person who likes to drive the cars, then you're probably not going to want to build a 1-to-1 because It's not about the scale aspect. It's about the performance aspect and how it works.
Yeah.
And the more of those guys there are, and the more guys that you see that are doing like, the basher crowd that are moving in towards crawling, some of those guys from the basher crowd, the reason they like bashing is because that truck could do things that a real full-size vehicle of that size would never even be capable of doing. There's no freaking way you'd do 300 mile an hour in a car and, jump it 30 times its own body height. Like you would never see that happen in a 1-to-1.
No.
But guys love that with a basher. I mean, taking an X-Max and jumping at 50 feet in the air. Yeah, that's cool, right? Like, so they're going to, that same mentality and mindset of guy is going to want to see a crawler crawl a freaking wall. They're going to want to see that. They're going to want to have that crawler that can do that. So I think you're going to start seeing some more guys making, super shafty style builds and stuff that is replicated off of hardcore competitive rock crawling. I think that's where crawling is going more. You got digs, you got overdrives, more brands are coming out with it. Portal axles, cheater axles. You see that happening more and more. And
Yeah.
So, Gord, I'm going to say yes, Fab Matters. Matt makes some kick-ass stuff, but also take a look at some of the carbon fiber options out there. There are some carbon fiber options out there that would make it lighter weight on the chassis, and then you put heavier weight in the axles and get your weight down low. They're pretty nice too. So, yep. What's the next category you want to see race?
Me?
Yeah, you.
What do I want to see for racing?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're kind of going there with the 12 scale to get that rubber class instead of going from foams. So I'd like to see that go because that kind of makes it more open to more people, right? People that don't have the time or the patience to sit there and change gearing because your tire wore down half a mil, or trimming your tires with the foams. Yeah, I could see that being okay, but at the same point, it's not going to be as fast, right?
But I
You
think
can't get as much traction as you can with foams.
I think you just pointed out part of what I'd already said with the I want it now mentality that the younger generations and people nowadays, they don't have the patience.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. Tuning your car because your tires have been changing throughout the race is one of those things that a lot of enthusiasts don't have the patience to do. They don't want to do that. They want to go out there, they want to run it. If the tires have lost traction and the grip is bad or whatever, fine. They want to grab another set of tires, put them on there, and go again.
Yeah.
Same thing. The reason why Nitro and a lot of these other lines have gone away because they don't want to tinker, they don't want to tune, they don't want to do all this. They just want to get it set up, get it lined out the way they want it to be. To get their setup as close as they can, and then they want to run it, and they want to go, and they want to go, and they want to go. They don't want to spend the time tinkering. They do to an extent. They want to spend the time tinkering to get the handling better, but once they get it to that point, they don't vary it a whole bunch. Right?
No.
You get it pretty damn close, and maybe you got to take a turn out here and add a turn in there, or add a little bit of spring, go up a tooth on your pinion because it's got a longer back straightaway than last time or whatever.
Yeah.
Quick things that you can tune during practice, but it's not something that you have to constantly keep changing throughout the race. Guys get tired of that.
Oh yeah. And it comes down to only being able to run that one car with foam. Like the foam is just so much. And that's kind of why certain classes died off. The foam classes died off because there's just not, like you said, that instantaneous. There's too much to know, right? It's too much to do.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. 100% it is. I tried it out once. I did the 12 scale. And it was a lot to do and a lot to try to do. And if you're not understanding it, and you don't have the helpful tools to do it all. You just can't.
Or if you just don't have the people. Up here, we don't have the club support. When I say club support, we just don't have the volume in members that have the knowledge to make tuning and messing around with cars enjoyable for anybody. Because you've got a guy, one person, let's say you're there every race night, right? There's other guys that show up to race. There's Luke. There's other people. They all show up to race. They know their crap. They're really fast, and they can help you tune your car. But if you've got 6 people all bugging the same guy to tune their car, yeah, they're all willing to do it a couple times, but they don't want to do it every time. Where if you had 50 guys there, and 10 of that 50 guys all know how to tune a car, then that's a big difference, right? When it comes to tuning and setups and pissing around. And so I find that like around here, everybody seems to want to be leaning towards the simpler setups for now and not having to tweak and tune too much. I think that's one of the reasons why the Euro truck class is going to take off as good as it has so far this year. And it will maintain, because there isn't a whole bunch of tuning.
No, you just come, put your car down, put some tires
you broke your car. You broke your car. Change the part. Done. It's not. Oh no, you need to take a little. Change your shock oil in here, and then change your diff oil to this, and you need to tighten up your slipper a little bit here, and in this back corner here, you probably want this to be done, and that. That's not happening in that class.
No.
It is, I can't make this turn. I'm going to push you off the track because I can't make you this turn.
Yeah. That's like you said right there. Simplicity of that Euro truck is what keeps people racing.
That's why I love it. I love that thing. I love it when it's kept that way, though. It needs to be kept a simple class.
Yeah.
I do not like it when people try to fudge it and change it and make it something that it really shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what happened to Mini, was like that.
Yeah.
Tamiya Mini was originally box stock. And then they started going a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Next thing you know, you're $1,000 into a Mini.
Yeah. You're $1,000 into a car that's not that fast.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not fun fast. So I like seeing things brought back to simple.
Yeah, I think that's really what happened with the M07 and M08 kits. There's more tuning on them, yes, but they have all the parts that you need
in the kit. Yeah, which is, I think that's perfect the way it is now.
Yeah.
Not that I have an M07 or a 7 or 8, but I will probably have a new Mini going soon.
Yeah, so like the Mini, in all honesty, it's actually more tuning than the Euro truck. So you can tune the camber, the caster, and all kinds of stuff with it.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's definitely the next step up if you're racing.
So Scott, what is wrong button? The wrong button. What is the new scale race car?
Yeah.
You have a picture? Send me a picture. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on here? Yeah, pictures.
Pictures. Send me pictures. Any new drift kits coming out yet? Yes and no. So Yokomo did release a couple of kits. They're not really a new release, but they're the SCX3 mid motors, and they are pre-assembled now. So you can buy them in a pre-assembled setup, which is kind of cool. But let's see if I can find them just with any brand. Yokomo has that one. And then MST has a KMW kit, which is, I think probably one of the most expensive kits I've ever seen.
From MST
Oh my god, it's like $1,000.
or MST. MST is usually like the
It was like the entry level. Yeah.
entry level stuff.
Yeah, let me see if I can find them here. KMW ARR. They are retailing for $1,100 US.
Ho, ho.
Let's get this out of here so I can show you. Get rid of that. There we go. See if I can get a picture for you. Maybe it's Seki. Yeah, so the RMX, it's basically, they call it the RMX 3.0. And the KMW is basically their full load, full meal deal kind of thing. Except there's no stuff added to it at all. You know, it's so they are a limited run as well. So I believe there's only 300 of this chassis made, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. You know, so this one here, the options and stuff, everything's carbon fiber, adjustable links, crazy amount of adjustability, right? Comes with all the tools and everything for tuning it, made specifically for that car. Different body mount options. Comes with a whole bunch of different spring sets. So this is like a drift guy, a guy who's really into tuning his drifter for every different track setup. So if you're going to a different, the box is very plain. If you're going to a different track, different layout every time, you're going to be able to tune this car. So you could go from linoleum to hard concrete to carpet, and every one of those setups is going to have a different way you want your car set, right? These cars have that adjustability. You can move the transmission, you can move the where the mounts are attaching down to the chassis. You can change where the servo mounts. You can change where the battery mounts. You can change how far forward the transmission is. You can change all kinds of stuff, right? So wheelbase is slightly adjustable as well, if I remember right. So, yep, that's the MST flagship, I guess you would call it.
Wow. Huh.
Other than that, the other new ones that came out from Yokomo and stuff like that were the new RTR, that AC that they came out with. And then some pre-built all aluminum upgrade chassis. Let's see if I can do this. They are starting to put out some kits with clear bodies on them. Let's see here. Let's go best selling. Let's look at recently added. Yeah, so the newest thing you're going to get from Yokomo is going to be their YD2 AC, which is the ready to drift. So it's competing. It's built to compete with the MST RMX 2.0s. And then they're still calling that one the 2Z. So this has the motor mounted quite low. Comes with a gyro. It's a base model made for a shorty pack.
Tub chassis.
Yeah, it's a plastic chassis, tub style chassis. It's not the carbon fiber plates. But price point's there to prove that, right? Like $300 US. And that's with the gyro.
That's half
right?
half the cost right there.
Yep. So if you're getting into drifting, if you want to get into drifting, that's what you want to go for, one of those, more of an RTR. If you think that you're a drifting king, if you think you're the DK, then you need to get yourself, I don't know, an overdose. Get yourself an overdose and spend a couple $1,000 just on a chassis.
Yeah, well, those overdose kits are
Oh, they're
out there.
ridiculous. They're ridiculous.
I don't know.
In the drifting world, I look at them the same way as I look at cars in the real world. You could go buy a Chevy or a Hyundai or a Honda or whatever and pay $40,000 for a sedan. Or you could go buy a BMW or a Mercedes or some other really expensive, or a Porsche or whatever, and pay $120,000 for the same car. Does it do the same thing? Yep, it does. You put people in it, you go from point A to point B. That's the difference. Does it do it a little faster? Maybe. Does it do it better? Maybe. Does it have this really expensive name badge on it? Yes, it does. That's the difference. And I think in RC drifting, I find the exact same thing. I mean, you don't even find it so much in RC racing. In RC racing, guys are running these platforms because they're fast and they make the difference.
Yeah.
But when it comes to some of these drift chassis and drift brands, they're not more expensive because they are that much better and the technology is so much better. They're that much more money because you're paying for the bragging rights of having all those aluminum bits in there, all that carbon fiber chassis, all that stuff that looks cool. You're paying a lot for looks with a lot of the really high-end drift chassis.
Yeah, I've seen someone has like a red carbon weave in it.
Yep.
Looks cool.
Exactly. And if money was an object, if it didn't matter to me how much it cost, would I have one of those? Hell yeah. Why? Because it can. Like, why does a guy drive around in a Lamborghini? Why would some guys drive a Lamborghini as their daily driver? Because they can. Why not? Right? I make $1 million a month. What the hell do I care? Okay. Right?
Sadly.
Am I jealous of them? Yep.
I'm not. It's one speed bump. The roads here just aren't made for those kind of cars.
Yeah, but they got another. Just buy another one.
Just buy another one.
Oops, I broke it. It's like guys who trade in a car because it needs an oil change. You're laughing. I know a guy who did that.
What?
Yeah. It was in Edmonton. Traded it in for a new one because he didn't want to take the time to take it in and get an oil change. I'm like, what?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. That's what money does. Makes you do ridiculous things. All right, let's see. Scott says he sent me the picture. Let's find
Yeah, see what he's got going on.
Let's see if I can find this picture. Stop screen. Okay.
So excited eyes.
Hey,
I'm excited.
you're just excited because there's another race car coming. I got one of those. I'll bring mine.
Oh, God.
Make it bigger. There we go. Make it even bigger. Now make it even bigger. What I can guarantee you is this one won't be fast. Yeah. Yeah, one of the Factory 5 or Fast 5, whatever they're calling them. Fuck you,
ZZ
Traxxas.
Top Action.
Okay.
ZZ Top Action.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've got the pickup truck version of those guys, so with the same front end. It's the same scale as that Corvette.
Ah,
So what we could do is bring all three of them. But those are pretty cars. You don't want to race those cars.
why
And
not?
they don't handle worth beans.
No. Really fast in a straight line? Hit the brakes.
Yeah, but I found that Vet pulled one way. I remember that. And the motor got hot really bad, really fast.
Yeah.
But
Is it waterproof?
that'll be
Yeah.
cool. On top of a Snap-on X-Max.
Interesting.
Interesting. All right, man. Well, I'm going to go tuck my kids in, and I'm calling her a night because I'm losing my voice. It's getting harder and harder to talk. So
Sounds good.
I don't want to lose it entirely. I want to be able to yell at you guys on the weekends. So you have to get up at 4 for your flight for Prince George. So November 3rd is when I will pop in. Well, you can always watch the live after the fact, Gord. It does stream on YouTube and Facebook, and like and subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, that's it.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Comment.
I tried that Twitch thing a couple days ago. I checked it out. Ryan, I checked out Tanya's. And thanks for the plug. Tell her thanks for the plug on the store break-in thing. Because she was talking about it on her Twitch stream. So, anyways, I tried watching it, but I can't find anything in there that's even remotely got anything to do with anything I'm into. Like, there was nothing in there related to any kind of motorsport stuff. If there is, it's not in a category that's labeled motorsports. So it's just might be under like the sports category, and I couldn't find anything that was really like motorbike related or anything that was RC related, or everything that I found in there was tabletop gaming and video gaming. It was all gaming pretty much, like the live stream stuff of gaming and stuff. And I can see it. Like the platform looks really good. I don't see anything that's on this kind of setup.
I see.
Weird, right? So. And Gord says, hit up Vernon RC. My computer's starting to slow. There we go. Hit up Vernon BC RC. All right, guys, we're going to call her. I'm losing my voice worse and worse and worse. And worse and worse and worse. And yeah. So we'll catch you guys next week. Come out to now. 16 subscribers. There you go. So we'll catch you guys next week. We'll give you guys a heads up. I'm going to, this weekend, I think I'm going to bring all of these cameras.
Nice.
And we'll set them up on the track and try to get some shots. And I'm not going to stream or do a video of all of the race, but we could probably do a couple little 2 or 5 minute little things of the heats and try to get the last laps of the races in or something, or I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see how we get things set up and if they get taken out by people marshaling cars. So Come on down, join us if you can. It would be cool to see everybody. And I guarantee you, if you get your hands on a car and get to drive it on the track, you're going to enjoy it. So,
Oh yeah, 100%.
all right.
It's not just for the niche top 1%ers of drivers. It's for everybody. That's one thing I always say. Racing's for everybody. Come on down, check it out, have some fun.
Yep. Find something to do that's not outside in the cold.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
I'll see you guys trackside.